The story begins not with gold or silver, but with the gleam of something far rarer. A coin born from change itself, the 1979 Susan B. Anthony dollar, a coin that defied convention, a coin that today in one extraordinary. The example has reached the incredible value of $15 million. Imagine holding in your hand a small metallic circle that carries a legacy of courage, of innovation, and of history fused into one dot. And yet, most people have no idea that this coin could be hiding right in their pocket change, particularly the highly sought-after Denver D issue. Welcome back to Ultimate Rare Coins USA, the channel where every dollar tells a story, and every story might lead you to a hidden fortune. Today, we are diving deep into the remarkable tale of the 1979 D. Susan B. Anthony dollar, its secrets, its surprising rarity at the highest grades, and its misunderstood beauty. We are uncovering the jaw-dropping moment that turned an ordinary coin into a multi-million-dollar treasure while focusing on the specific qualities of the Denver Strike. Now, before we unfold the mystery, take a second to like this video and subscribe, because by the time we reach the end, you might just find yourself checking every coin you own for that key D mint mark. The year was 1979. America was shifting. The economy, technology, and even the role of women were changing. Susan B. Anthony, a fearless leader for equality, became the first real woman to be featured on a circulating U.S. coin. Her strong profile replaced the symbolic Lady Liberty that had graced coins for generations. The U.S. Mint wanted to honor her courage and create a modern coin that represented progress. But what they didn't expect was how this small dollar would divide collectors, confuse the public, and later become one of the most surprising treasures in numismatic history. At first glance, it looked like a quarter, just a little bigger. And that was the problem. People mistook it for 25 cents, and so it was rejected by many Americans, quickly disappearing from circulation. The coin that was supposed to represent progress was suddenly viewed as a failure. But hidden in that story lies a twist. Because not all 1979 Susan B. Anthony dollars were created equal, and one of them would go on to be valued at $15 million. The reason isn't just rarity, it is a blend of condition, strike, and historical significance that only expert collectors and grading companies like PCGS and NGC truly understand. When a coin is graded by PCGS or NGC, it undergoes an extremely detailed inspection under magnification. Its luster, strike, surface marks, and even die varieties are analyzed to determine a precise grade from poor to perfect. Mint State 70. The difference between a grade of MS69 and MS70 can mean the difference between $100 and millions. Imagine that. A single microscopic scratch separating a fortune from the ordinary. And this is exactly what happened with one 1979 Susan B. Anthony dollar discovered in almost perfect condition. A flawless mirror-like surface. No contact marks. No blemishes. A strike so sharp it captured every detail of Susan B. Anthony's determined gaze, and the majestic eagle landing on the moon on the reverse. This particular coin was authenticated and graded at the highest level possible, its perfection making it unique among millions of coins struck, including the over 288 million struck in Denver. It was then auctioned to a private collector for $15 million, a price that stunned even veteran numismatists. But to understand why the Denver D coin holds such potential, we must explore its creation and specifications. The coin was minted in 3 locations: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. The Denver version, known as 1979 D, is abundant, but its value lies in its high-grade scarcity and unique die errors not found on the other mints. While Philadelphia is famous for the wide rim variety, the 1979 D is highly prized for its exceptional condition and freedom from post-strike blemishes. The D mint mark is located below the portrait near the rim, which is the key to identifying this Denver issue. The coin itself is made of a copper-nickel-clad composition, 87.5% copper and 12.5% nickel. It has a weight of 8.1 grams, a diameter of 26.5 millimeters, and a thickness of 2 millimeters. Small details that seem technical, but to coin experts they mean everything, because each of these specifications tells the story of how and where the coin was struck at the Denver facility. A deviation, even by fractions of a millimeter, can signal a rare minting error specific to the D mint press. And minting errors are where fortunes are born for the 1979 D. Imagine finding a doubled die obverse where the lettering on Liberty or In God We Trust shows faint duplication, a D mint rarity, or a planchette error where the coin was struck on a defective blank from the Denver production line. These errors transform an already collectible coin into a numismatic legend worth life-changing amounts. The coin, that sold for $15 million, wasn't just perfect. It was part of a tiny group minted with an exceptional strike quality, and once authenticated by PCGS, it became a trophy for the elite collectors community. Now here is where the story turns fascinating. Most people think collecting coins is about luck, but seasoned numismatists know it's about knowledge, grading, and timing. When you find a coin like the 1979D Susan B. Anthony dollar, your first move should be preservation. Never clean the coin, because cleaning destroys the natural luster and reduces value dramatically. Instead, store it in an acid-free holder or a mylar flip. Handle it only by the edges, where the composition shows the copper layer. And if you suspect it's a high-grade specimen or a rare Denver error, send it directly to a professional grading company like PCGS or NGC. They will authenticate, encapsulate, and assign a grade, protecting both its condition and market credibility. Once graded, its value becomes official, and that is when serious collectors and auction houses take notice. This is where curiosity meets opportunity, and for many watching right now, this could be the beginning of your own numismatic adventure. But the 1979 Susan B. Anthony dollar isn't just about money, it's about legacy. Susan B. Anthony fought tirelessly for women's rights and equality. Her presence on this coin marks a turning point in American history, a bold decision to feature a real woman instead of an allegorical figure, and that gives the coin cultural significance beyond its metallic worth. Every collector who holds one holds a piece of progress and history wrapped in nickel and copper. As we dive deeper into this coin's mystique, let's talk about condition, because this is where most people underestimate value, especially for the 1979D. Coins are graded not only on how perfect they look but also on their eye appeal and strike quality. A coin that appears bright and well-centered commands far more attention than one with dull toning or weak strikes common on heavily used demint issues. A mint state coin has never been in circulation, it shows no signs of wear, and its surfaces shimmer under light. This is what collectors crave, and a perfect MS-70 1979D is almost unheard of. Now, here is something that might surprise you. The difference between a 1979 degraded MS-67 and MS-68 can be thousands of dollars, even though to the naked eye they look identical. That is why professional grading from PCGS or NGC is so critical. It turns opinions into certified facts, giving your coin a universal grade, recognized around the world. Let's pause here for a quick moment, because if you are watching this and you have ever wondered whether the 1979D coin sitting in your drawers might be special, hit that like button. Drop a comment below telling us what D-mint coins you collect, and make sure to subscribe to Ultimate Rare Coins USA for future deep dives into the most astonishing discoveries in U.S. coin history. Alright, let's bring back the excitement, because we still haven't uncovered the full thrill behind the $15 million Susan B. Anthony dollar. Picture this, a coin released in 1979, largely ignored by the public, because of its size and confusion with the quarter quietly finds redemption decades later in collectors' markets. Its image, once forgotten, now symbolizes a milestone in numismatics. Today, serious investors look at the Susan B. Anthony series with fresh respect, because high-grade examples, especially from the first year of issue, struck in Denver, are becoming increasingly scarce. The mint only produced the coin from 1979 to 1981, and then again, briefly, in 1999. This short production run means every high-quality 1979D Susan B. Anthony dollar carries rarity potential. And, within that limited history, the 1979DE that exhibits a perfect strike stands out like a shining beacon. The coin that changed everything. For one, collectors started as part of a normal roll of coins found during a bank search. The finder noticed something unusual about its surfaces. No contact marks whatsoever, despite its age. After verifying it with magnification, they realized they held an exceptional D-mint specimen. Curiosity led them to submit it to PCGS, and what came back was beyond belief. The highest possible grade for a coin that had survived 40-plus years in the Denver production era. Once news of the auction spread collectors around, the world started checking their own coins. Thousands of 1979 dollars were examined, including the millions from Denver, but only one matched that level of perfection, a pristine, wide rim. That is what makes this story so extraordinary. You could hold the same design, the same metal, and yet, one microscopic difference in preservation changes everything. The world of coin collecting is full of such hidden wonders, and the Susan B. Anthony dollar remains one of its brightest stars. And as we move into the final chapter of this story, in part 2, we will reveal the deeper insights of how grading, pricing, and selling come together to turn history into fortune, and how you can identify the right marketplaces and strategies to sell your own valuable 1979D coins. Stay tuned, because what comes next will transform the way you see every coin in your pocket forever. Now, as we move forward in this incredible journey of discovery, imagine standing at the crossroads of history and opportunity, holding the same kind of coin that once passed from hand to hand. In 1979, now potentially worth millions to the right collector. This is where passion meets precision. Because the true art of numismatics is not just about finding old coins, it is about understanding them. When you look at a 1979D Susan B. Anthony dollar, you are not simply seeing metal, you are seeing craftsmanship. The art of engraving, the science of metallurgy, and the emotion of history combined into one tangible artifact. To appreciate its $15 million value, you have to see what makes it special beyond rarity. This coin's condition, its flawless preservation, its unbroken luster that shines like frozen light. That is what drove collectors wild. The truth is only a handful of 1979 D dollars even come close to that level of perfection. And that is why professional grading has become the cornerstone of modern coin collecting. Organizations like PCGS and NGC exist for a reason. They remove uncertainty in a world where one coin's imperfection can mean the difference between thousands and millions. Grading gives confidence, authentication, and stability to the market. When a coin is sealed inside a tamper-proof holder known as a slab, it is protected forever from damage, oxidation, or manipulation. This encapsulation not only ensures preservation but also verifies authenticity with serial numbers, barcodes, and certification records accessible online. At any moment, you can check PCGS or NGC databases to confirm your DMint coin's details, its grade, and its market performance. That is the level of transparency that separates serious collectors from casual hobbyists. And if you are thinking about selling a valuable 1979 D. Susan B. Anthony dollar, that step is non-negotiable. Grading first, selling second. Now let's talk about selling, because this is the part that transforms your discovery into real value. There are multiple avenues and each comes with pros and cons. If your coin has been authenticated and graded at a high level by PCGS or NGC, your best option is to work with reputable auction houses like Heritage Auctions, Stax, Bowers, or Great Collections. These institutions handle million-dollar coins regularly. They provide marketing exposure, access to elite buyers, and ensure a competitive bidding environment that drives prices higher than private sales. They also handle insurance, transport, and secure payment, which protects you from fraud or risk. Now, if your DMint coin is valuable but not yet in the million-dollar tier, you can still find strong offers on numismatic marketplaces like eBay or MA shops. But only after grading. Never list a raw coin for sale at high value because unverified coins draw skeptics, and you might get only a fraction of its true worth beyond online platforms. Local coin shows and conventions in major cities across the United States also provide great opportunities to connect with serious collectors and dealers. Always carry proper documentation and never rush a deal. Patience is everything in this field because timing can make or break your profit margin. Prices fluctuate depending on market trends, collector demand, and even global economic conditions. The coin market, just like art or luxury, collectibles thrives on rarity, provenance, and condition. And the 1979 D. Susan B. Anthony dollar embodies all three in one unforgettable story. Another factor that influences value is presentation. Collectors love a good story, and if you can trace your coin's provenance, meaning its ownership history, it adds authenticity and mystique to your listing. Imagine telling potential buyers this DMint coin originated from an untouched mint roll, discovered decades later, stored in perfect conditions in an estate collection. That narrative alone can elevate perceived value by thousands. It connects emotion to metal, and emotion is what drives collectors to bid beyond logic. Now, let's dig a little deeper into the technical side. The Susan B. Anthony dollar's design was created by Frank Gasparro, one of the most respected engravers in U.S. mint history. His initials FG can be found near the eagle on the reverse, a small detail that often goes unnoticed but is essential to the design. The obverse features the bold profile of Susan B. Anthony surrounded by 13 stars, representing the original colonies, and the inscriptions, "Liberty and in God We Trust." The reverse shows an eagle landing on the moon, a nod to the Apollo 11 mission, a symbol of progress, courage, and American ingenuity. This imagery made the coin not only a tribute to Susan B. Anthony's fight for equality, but also a celebration of American achievement in space exploration. That the blend of historical and technological pride gave this coin a dual identity. But unfortunately, its similarity in size to the quarter led to confusion that hurt its circulation. The irony is, the very thing that made it unpopular in 1979 made it iconic today. Its distinct shape, its 11-sided border within a round frame known as the Hendokagon, gives it a futuristic, almost experimental look. Now fast forward to today. Collectors see it as a masterpiece ahead of its time. That is why condition matters so much for the 1979 D, because a coin that survived decades without wear or scratches is more than rare, it's miraculous. So how do you know if your 1979 D. Susan B. Anthony dollar could be valuable? First, check for the D mint mark below the portrait above the date. If there is a D, it is from Denver. Next, look at the coin's surfaces under bright light. Any doubling of letters or design details could indicate a double die error, a specific D mint variety which adds significant value. Also inspect the coin's rim and field for any strange die chips or breaks, particularly near the date or the letters. Another rare D type is the off-center strike. where the image is misaligned due to a minting error. These varieties can fetch thousands depending on severity and grade. Finally, weigh your coin. It should weigh exactly 8.1 grams. If it differs significantly, it might be a wrong planchette strike, which is even rarer. Understanding these elements makes you a smarter collector and brings you closer to discovering your own fortune now. Let's take a moment to appreciate Susan B. Anthony herself, her fearless activism, her determination to secure women's voting rights, and her unshakable moral courage. Her presence on a coin was groundbreaking at a time when no real woman had been featured on a circulating U.S. coin. She broke barriers, and her legacy continues to inspire generations. Every time you hold this coin, you hold a symbol of empowerment, progress, and equality, and that emotional connection is part of what gives the Susan B. Anthony dollar its lasting appeal among collectors. The coin market thrives on stories like this, where history and rarity meet emotion and discovery. Now let's return to the $15 million specimen. Its sales shocked even the experts because coins at that value usually belong to ancient or gold series, not modern clad issues. Yet this perfect strike achieved legendary status due to its perfect grade from PCGS, the first of its kind. The auction created a frenzy as bidders from across the world joined online and in person, hoping to own a piece of numismatic history. When the hammer finally dropped and the winning bid reached $15 million, the room erupted. This wasn't just a sale, it was a statement. It proved that modern coins, when perfectly preserved, can rival the classics in prestige and value, and that applies equally to the 1979 D at the highest MS grade. Since then, the Susan B. Anthony series has seen a surge in interest, with collectors hunting for top-graded examples. Prices for high-grade D mint coins have doubled and tripled in recent years, showing that passion and knowledge still fuel this market. And that brings us to you watching this video. Maybe you have been collecting coins for years, or maybe you were just starting out. Either way, every collection begins with curiosity, and every collector has that one coin that changes everything. So, here is your challenge. After watching this video, go through your change jars, your coin albums, even your old drawers. Look for any 1979 D Susan B. Anthony dollars. Examine them carefully, under light, specifically checking for errors and contact marks. And if you find something special, do not rush to sell. Learn, study, compare, and when you are ready, grade and present it the right way. That is how you turn discovery into value and history into wealth. And if you want to stay ahead of the next big find, hit that like button and subscribe to Ultimate Rare Coins USA. Because every week we uncover new stories, new treasures, and new opportunities hiding in plain sight. Coins are more than money. They are time machines. They carry the fingerprints of history and the dreams of a nation. From the first design sketch to the final press, every coin tells a story. And the Susan B. Anthony dollar is one of the most inspiring chapters in American numismatics. So, do not underestimate what you hold. Today's pocket change could be tomorrow's legend. And who knows, maybe the next $15 million coin will be found by you. So keep watching, keep learning, and keep searching, because the world of rare coins is full of surprises that can change your life forever. This has been Ultimate Rare Coins USA, where history meets value and collectors become legends. So, until next time, stay curious, stay passionate, and may your next discovery shine brighter than silver itself, because somewhere out there, another story, another coin, another fortune is waiting for you.